happy morning to all of you. The reason I'm invited to speak, that too in 20 minutes, to teach you how to build an enduring enterprise. Very simple. In 2014, I filed for bankruptcy, losing my $2 billion assets, and then I decided to rebuild in an entirely a new business and trying to make at least 4 times worth within the next 3 to 5 years. When I lost the telecom business because of attention by some politicians and also the policy framework and everything, I was not dejected, because you do not measure success and failure differently. Success and failure are data. If you see a movie, a dance, they have danced 20 or 30 times and they took the best one and showing it to you. So in data, it means 20 times they failed and 1 time they won. So when you don't focus on success, but if you focus on excellence and the byproduct is profit, you win. And also, while we can predict success 90%, we cannot predict 100% of the success, because business is an art and science. And also, a guy who got a Nobel Prize, he says, success is equal to luck plus skill. But great success is equal to 30% more skill and several times of luck. So let us understand what is the biggest problem in success. Success is a seductive. Success is not a destination. You change according to the signals you get. You don't wait for symptoms in business. That means your failures is guaranteed. You read signals from the business. That is why you make a business plan, then you make a weekly plan, then you make a daily plan, then you make a test plan, then you win. But your winning is determined purely by the customer you are seeking. And the customers change, and the technology change. So in 2026, the game is going to be like this. All of you will have on any subject equal to a PhD level in 60 minutes with the AI. It will only take 60 minutes if you know how to use a prompting. Your knowledge will be as good as anyone who have done a PhD who spent 40 years in that subject. And then you can write a plan and find out all types of holes in that plan in the next 60 minutes. And in the next 60 minutes, you can take a 90 days action plan and you can be in business in 90 days. Then the capital is available plenty in India. There are more than 80,000 companies who want to fund you. So once you understand the subject, if you are smart, in 2-3 weeks, you are back in business without putting your capital. It is such an easy time, and my regret is, I am 69 now. If I am 20 years or 25 years, okay, I'll build a business in 5 years for $100 billion. You look opportunities everywhere. Another interesting fact is India itself is a big market, and from India, you can go to all other countries and do the business. India's cost is very cheap, and the infrastructure has improved tremendously. The lowest cost of internet, the lowest cost of communication, and the educated people, and the average age of 29, all this is contributing to India to have a good time for the next 15 years. So what is that you need to do? You just focus on success or failure or customer. You focus on your customer, dig deep and discover the unmet needs of the country and the people, and figure out what is the easiest way you can approach. I can give you several examples. When you don't have this approach, what happens to you is like Nokia, BlackBerry, Kodak, Enron, anything like that. And also what happens when energy depends on what you are doing. I'll give you an example. For data centers, 1 megawatt computing power, the equation was 1.9 megawatt in 2023. But now, for 1 megawatt power, you can get 1.3 megawatt. In another 3 to 5 years, it will become 1 megawatt of electricity equal to computing power of 1.1. And previously, computers used to double their capacity. They used to call it as Moore's law. But what happened? 2 years back, NVIDIA came. 500,000 times they increased the computer power. So I came out with a slogan called unreasonable growth. So you should not think of growing 2 times, 5 times, 10 times. Think of growing 1,000 times, 10,000 times like that. Okay? So how do you develop that thinking? First, you try to dream. And if you are not good in dream, try to develop a fantasy. Then find out physics, chemistry, and biology to support it. If the biology supports you, it is called biohacking. If physics supports you, you become space scientist. If chemistry supports you, you become chemical business. Okay? So basically it is science and AI and your dream. And then if you can smile well to attract capital, okay, to meet people and explain what you can do with your ideas and with their money. You can raise capital today. Then you win. The problem in India is we had 18 lakh small enterprises who never wanted to become a billion-dollar company. That was 5 years back. But now, the problem right now, in 2025, the last quarter, I happened to see business plan of 3,500 companies. Everyone wants to be a billion-dollar company. I very rarely nowadays see a business plan, okay, which want to be less than $1 billion. So why? People are growing, the world is growing, and as people rightly say, food is no longer a problem. Communication is no longer a problem. Okay, when telephone was invented, it removed the distance. When wireless phone came, it removed the speed. Someone who is traveling in 700 kilometers in a plane can talk to somebody who is traveling in a car at 70 kilometers. Now, all the rules are rewritten. So don't go by examples of what happened in the last 50 years or 100 years.
You rewrite history. Take any 100-year-old company and try to compete. Not with full business. Take only one portion of that business and build. See, for example, I'll give you a small joke. I'm not meaning any company, so don't think that I'm criticizing or anything. I came to Coimbatore 45 years back. I saw many of the enterprising companies here who sells dosa, idli, South Indian food. Till today, they are selling only South Indian. But some companies took only the dosa batter and they made it $1 billion company. Some companies took only milk and they processed and sold the derivatives, and then they make a high value component and make $1 billion. There are companies who took some small parts contract with ISRO and then they made a reusable
Contract with 3D printing, and they made $1 billion contract and they are hoping to go to 10 billion. So, you don't need a large idea. Take any existing company and take a small idea and then make them better. In other words, extraordinary thing means not finding out something extraordinary. Take an ordinary thing and make it extraordinary and deliver it at a lowest price, 100 times more performance, and then quick delivery, everything what these people are looking for a process. I recently funded, somebody else funded, I'm only a consultant, a company in Brazil which makes only coconut water. And the first round was at $55 million. The second round was $800 million. I asked him, what is the difference happened in the last 6 months? He said, sir, I put a video how hard to get a coconut from a coconut tree and then cut it and then draw the water, put the straw and drink it. Instead of that, drink it from my can. People understood that I am saving time and the risk of climbing coconut tree and everything. So overnight, I got 300,000 times more order than the first quarter. That is why my valuation went. So take any idea, study any process. If it takes 8 hours, try to bring it to 10 minutes or sort any convenience, and come out with an idea, use AI, develop a process and a system, because all the founders, they try to get a job in their own company. Instead of developing a process and the thing, the company should run without them. See, I was working with Tatas for 7 years. I helped them, I worked with them, I saw the revenue going to 600,000 crore, 482 companies. I had the fortune of spending 7 years with Mr. Ratan Tata. Besides, I made money. What I learned is, we develop process and systems and make sure the company outlives us. Or we don't go to company and it works better. Then you are successful. Thank you.